Matt Lenihan for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store. It's always a pleasure to catch up with Chantelle Cameron. Last time we caught up was post-fight. I think it was Birmingham Resorts World, I want to say. I think you were going on holiday or looking for a bit of a break. You're always travelling after your fights. Time to sort of wind down and recharge your batteries and ready for a really strong end to the year.
Yeah, I need to make sure I get the win on November the 2nd. So that's the big picture at the moment, is making sure I get a good performance, a big win, and then wind down for the rest of the year, ready for big 2025.
It's sort of been one of them years where I feel like there's been a lot of change for you, but you've adapted really well. I've seen you for a few sessions in here now with Grant. It looks like, like home away from home kind of thing. Yeah. There's a really good sort of bond in here with everyone. Obviously yourself. I know Michael's just joined the gym as well, but you've Dalton. Do you feel now, you've been here a few months now, that it's really sort of settled as a home kind of thing in terms of your work?
Definitely. So I think when I first come to Grant, kind of knew when we did our first session, I was like, yeah, I do like it here. But obviously, like, it was a big change. Like my manager says to me, I just kind of like done everything at once. So I changed promoter, I changed my team, changed location. I just started completely, just wiped the floor clean and done it all from new. And you know what? It's paid off for me. I'm happy, and that's the main thing. The number one point is I'm happy. Forget everyone else. Like, I kind of have to put myself first. It's my career, and I want my happy ending. And I had to make them big decisions, and I've done it. And I'm glad I got no regrets.
How good has it been for you mentally? Because obviously, you always turn up, always in shape. You do that side of it, but in terms of mentally, it was a case of, I think when we spoke before, it's like one of them things where you don't want to look back at your career and go, you know what, I maybe should have changed there, but I didn't want to upset people and this, that and the other. But you've done that now. So do you sort of, is it a bit of relief, the fact that you have adapted and that you're obviously really enjoying yourself? Because it looks like in here every day's a learning day kind of thing.
Yeah, it paid off for me, and I think back then it was scary, because obviously I hate change. So as a human being, I cannot handle change. Anything. I'm such a weirdo.
Really? Why?
I just don't like change. I hate it so much. So that alone was a big decision for me, knowing that I've got to do something out of my comfort zone. But sometimes like you got to make them changes. You got to do it. So the first time I did come here, it was my first fight. It was like, God, there was so many nerves and feelings, and it was a lot of emotion. And I was actually really ill with that camp as well. So 4 weeks before, I had a chest infection. I was on antibiotics, and then the fight week, I felt absolutely dog shit. I was so ill, and my sinuses were like so blocked, and it was just not the best. And then Monday, I was back on antibiotics for a chest and sinus infection. So everything was just like, training was perfect. Training was brilliant. New team, new chapter, but my body was just, I was so ill. So that was in the back of my mind. Had a new corner team. The vibe in the change room had to adapt to having new people there. So I'm glad I got the win, but I'm also glad that I got the win, because it could have gone completely the wrong way. But I'm glad it's over now.
You mentioned change there. Have you ever had to move house or out? Because I bet you're an absolute nightmare to be around.
I've only moved house once.
Won't be doing it again.
I hate it. It just, the thought of change of it, I can't bear it. I don't know why. It just really triggers me.
No, look. All joking aside, you're fighting. There's an opportunity for a belt, a WBC interim title. For someone like yourself, obviously a steam champion who's won the lot before, and you'll be in line, I'm sure, to in the future, touch wood, everything goes well, fight for more. An opportunity to sort of get that sort of champion feeling back, get another belt around your waist, and really kick on next year into some more big fights.
Yeah, I think the fact that now I'm not a champion, like I won the interim champion, but being undisputed and then losing the belts and really having to starting from the drawing board, it's quite a tough pill to swallow. But I think I'm grateful for the opportunity I'm being given to get the interim title and secure my spot as a mandatory for the 140 division. But I just want to be in the big fights again, and everyone knows what I want. I want to fight Katie Taylor and get them 140 belts back. But I kind of just got to see what happens, and it's one of them ones where I'm glad that I'm active. I'm glad that Queensbury and TNT Sports are keeping me busy and keeping me in the ring. That's the main thing. Otherwise, I could be sat on the shelf and waiting around. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity, but I just want my revenge on Katie.
Yeah. You've got, before we come on to Katie, you've got like almost a bit of a restart there when you mentioned with the new promoter, and I think I've just said to Liam Cameron, who's obviously thriving at the minute off the back of his performance, you'd be hard pressed to argue that Frank's got probably one of the best stables in boxing and in this country as well. When you look at the new additions he's making, the heavyweight scene seems to be on lock. Obviously the addition to yourself on the female side of it with the likes of a Raven Chapman, obviously I know she come up short, but big things are happening on the Queensbury side. You talked to me before about a potential 5v5.
Yeah.
Is that the ideal scenario for you when February rolls around? I think they're looking at February, and you look at yourself and where you could be positions providing everything goes well for you. Would that be the ideal time to say, look, we can do it then, kind of thing, providing things goes well for Kate?
I have to win. I've got to win my fight. I'd never overlook my opponent, because that's how you fall short, and that's a very bad mentality. And obviously Katie needs to win her fight. She's in a very tough fight, and I don't know if she will win, because Amanda Serrano, she's tough. The previous fight, it was very close. I did just edge Amanda. Amanda did hurt her a few times, so as much as I'd love the Katie fight, I am edging Amanda win.
I remember interviewing you when I worked for a different channel. I think it was the TalkSport Studios thing. I think it was for Taylor Serrano press conference, and I think you talks about what fight you'd be in next. And I can't remember, so don't quote me on this. You're a bit of a fan of Serrano, right? Yeah. So
maybe I'm a bit biased. I am a fan, yeah. I like her style. She's got a very good style. She's aggressive, and the way she carries herself as well.
So do you not think, say that Katie fight don't come off? I mean, personally, I want to see it. I think every boxing fan wants to. I mean, you've given us 2 historic nights, not just for women's boxing, but boxing. Great fights. Was lucky enough to be there for the second one. But if that didn't happen, and Serrano came available, I suppose there might not be that thing of we need to settle this score kind of thing. But a legend of the sport, like, would that be something that must motivate you as well?
Yeah, massive fan. Like I said, then I'm a massive fan of Amanda. She's an absolute legend, and it honestly would be an honour to share the ring with someone like Amanda, because she's going to go down in the history book. So to share the ring with her would be an honour. But the thing is, with me and Katie, there's needle there. It's completely different.
What is the needle? Because you both, I'll let you from the horse's mouth explain it, but when the outside looking in, you look and go, you want a piece. 2 fantastic fights. I know your thoughts on the second fight. Is it anything particular with her, or is it something? Is it more of a competitive thing with yourself? Like, I need to get this back.
Yeah, no, nothing personal with her. At the end of the day, I used to literally look up to her and watch her fights and think, wow, she's amazing. She's an amazing fighter, and I'd never say nothing bad about that, and nothing about her as a person. And this is sport, and it's competitive, so it's a fact that the whole story behind it, it's just madness, and the fact that I lost that last fight, yeah, and when I got rushed out to get my head stitched up, because I had a big gash in my head, so I wanted my stitches. So I went there in the ring for obvious reasons, that I'd rather get my head stitched up than stand there and talk. Well, I'm not really a talker anyway, so I'd rather just get out there.
I think you're a better talker than you think you are.
I just don't like it. I just think I can't.
You're worried about going off too much.
Yeah, ranting and going completely off script and saying the wrong things, and but I didn't stand in the ring and say about having a trilogy and being how great it is for women's boxing to have the trilogy, etc. Everyone is there. It's on tape what we said, so I don't need to repeat it. And then the next thing is she wants an easier fight, and that's what it boiled down to. The Amanda fight didn't exist when me and Katie was negotiating, and even Eddie Hearn said I actually took less money. And I wanted the fight, so I was happy to take what I was being offered. So the fight was so easy to make. But then on the other side, it's fell into her hands, because she's got a massive payday now, and good on her, because I wouldn't turn that down. But at the time, when she refused the trilogy, there was no Amanda Serrano fight. She was fighting a mandatory. So that's the truth of it. The trilogy was turned down before Amanda Serrano fight existed. So that's why I'm a bit like, you got your chance at redemption, but I never got that chance, and I had to go to the backyard twice. I did sign a contract for rematch clause, but not location. And I was getting solicitors to look at my contract to make the fight outside of Dublin, to go to Middle East, anywhere, America, wherever Katie goes, she's going to get fans because she's an icon and she's such a great sportswoman for Ireland. So that side of it, that's my story. That's why I want the fight, because I never got a chance to settle the score, and it was a close fight. It was a close fight, and there was things in that fight that it was messy. We was both holding, there was both headbutting. Well, to be fair, I wasn't holding. I was trying to work out and get out of the holds, but there was so much holding. There was headbutting, and yeah, sometimes I was getting a bit dirty because like, who wants to be standing there getting headbutted and hold? So yeah, I was trying to do what I could to win, like anyone would do. So as much as the fight was good, it was messy, and it was kind of like we can both do a lot better than that. We both let ourselves down.
It's amazing when you say you let yourself down. It was such a good fight.
It was so messy.
It was messy, but there was some great moments in it. And I suppose then the question would be, I suppose the arguments for a Dublin fight or an Ireland fight is Katie Taylor, Irish icon, legend. Don't think anyone will dispute that. Former football. She's got a huge following, and
Massive,
if they say to you, look, we can. The problem is, I know you accepted less money before, but the more money she can generate is here. When it's a couple $100,000 less if it's in Manchester. Would you? I don't want to say accept that, because I'm sure you can come to a table. But what's the sketch if it's?
This is the thing. I was going back to Dublin for the third time because I didn't care. Yeah. So no. The second time I didn't want to go back because who would? I was a champion. I was walking into Lion's Den. I'd done it once. How do you motivate yourself to do it again? I did not want to go back. There was a great night, but it was fucking scary. Like walking out to that, it was like.
I know, but you won.
But who else would want to do that? Like unless there's something wrong with you up there. I just didn't want to do it, and like, I think I stood a good reason to. And yeah, I did get paid well in that, and everything else that comes with it. It was good, but I also want to give myself a good chance. Listen, I wasn't meant to beat Katie the first time. That's the problem that happened. I wasn't supposed to beat her the first time, and I did. And everyone wanted that to be written off and forgotten about. So they made me go back again for the second time. And Katie won, yeah. But did she get a bit of help and a few like favours? She did. And that's not me being bitter or anything. I'm speaking facts, and people don't like the facts, and I don't give a shit. Yeah, but it is what it is.
Well, look, I think just to sort of end on a really positive note, boxing is in such a great state at the minute, and we've seen obviously fights out in the Middle East as well now as well, so you've got that opportunity there. In an ideal world, I suppose, from now, in 12 months' time, if we're getting to next Christmas and we have a chat in here, what would you want to be talking about? The fact that you've avenged Katie Taylor, you fought a Serrano, fought them both, picked up a world title. Is it about titles for you anymore? Are you not bothered?
It's not. I think I was saying to you a minute ago. Yeah, and it's like I've become undisputed, and it's amazing. I've ticked that off now, and what an achievement to do. But now I just want to just have the big fights and have iconic nights where people are going to remember them fights, and it's going to go down in history as being one of the best female fighters there is. It's been in great fights and competitive fights, no easy fights, so not about belts, it's just about making legendary nights.
Well, look, I'm sure there's quite a few legendary nights in the offing, and if it's not like the last couple of fights, we'll look forward to it. Chantelle Cameron, appreciate your time. All the best in a few weeks. Got a chance to become interim champion. I know it's not about the belts for you, but it is a belt, and yeah, we look forward to seeing these big fights for you next year.
Thank you very much.